On today's Smart 7, Rishi finally makes a payoff, a stars walk out of premiere, a strike kicks in, and lots more. It's Friday the 14th of July, it's Shark Awareness Day, and happy birthday Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Rishi Sunak finally put an end to the summer of strikes on Thursday, or at least made a firm attempt to. More than 1 million public sector workers, including doctors, teachers and police officers, are finally getting a pay offer from the government. Treasury Minister John Glenn spoke in the House of Commons to formally announce the offer in line with the recommendations of the independent pay review body.
We said we would accept the outcome of the public pay review bodies, and that is exactly what we will do. And we will do so because we are proud of our world-class public servants and owe them a debt of gratitude.
The offer's between 5 and 7%, with police officers getting the highest rise, but the twist is that the pay rises have to be funded out of existing spending budgets so as not to trigger further inflation rises. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak says it's time for those on strike to do the right thing, and that he also had a warning there was no more cash on the table.
Today's offer is final. There will be no more talks on pay. We will not negotiate again on this year's settlements, and no amount of strikes will change our decision.
4 education unions have said the deal will allow them to end their dispute, but the junior doctors who are currently on a 5-day strike reacted furiously. Dr Vivek Trivedi of the British Medical Association says an offer of 5 or 6% simply isn't enough to make up for years of pay cuts.
But so far, all we've been presented is a 5% uplift, which would take those doctors that are earning £14.09 an hour to £14.79 an hour. It's simply not enough.
Defence Secretary Ben Wallace's remarks over Ukraine using the US and the UK like an Amazon for armaments continued to cause controversy on Thursday. Ukraine's top security official Alexei Danilov was in a forgiving mood, saying he knew that wasn't Ben's real position and blaming the remarks on too much emotion. Rishi made a statement on the NATO summit to the House of Commons, re-emphasising the UK's support for Ukraine and painted a positive picture of how the UK's support is received. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer was equally happy to give his full backing to British support for Ukraine and NATO.
In an ever more dangerous world, we must be united. And NATO must be coordinated, ready to adapt and ready to strengthen. We must stay the course and make sure Putin's brutal ambition ends in his total defeat.
After Russia's mini-mutiny, Russian journalist and author Mikhail Zygar says he thinks that Putin's lost control of his supporters, and although it may take years, we're seeing the beginning of his regime's collapse.
Now it's obvious that he cannot manage it. Putin is not really in control, so it's obvious that he cannot run the whole system, and the system is about to collapse.
The UK's economy dipped slightly in May, although only by 0.1%. Economists had expected that a triple bank holiday in May, including the coronation of King Charles, might impact productivity. The drop in growth, however, won't do anything to help curb inflation, and it's likely the Bank of England will once again ratchet up mortgage rates. Rishi Sunak, who was having a pretty busy Thursday, says he's sticking to his pledge to halve inflation, and part of that's ensuring that the pay rises he's promising remain cost neutral.
I'm determined to bring inflation down, and I'm confident that we will do so. And halving inflation is just a staging post, because inflation belongs back where it should be at 2%. Right? So, this is a journey to get it down there.
Labour's Shadow Treasury Secretary Pat McFadden says there's a long list of things that Rishi's failed to fix.
Low growth, high prices, creaking public services. That is the legacy we now have after 13 years of the Conservatives in power.
The Huw Edwards story rumbled on Thursday, with the BBC resuming its internal investigation of the presenter's behaviour even after the police found no evidence of criminality. Meanwhile, Rupert Murdoch's Talk TV's apparently paid the parents behind the original allegation tens of thousands for an interview to be broadcast as a documentary series. Jake Cantor, investigations editor with Deadline, says this is another example of News UK using its power to whip up a story.
What it does do is feed a wider media ecosystem at News UK. They've got an outrage machine to fill with content on Talk Radio and Talk TV. The Times has covered extensively this issue, and that all works in the favour of News UK.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Deli Alley opens up and actors leave Oppenheimer premiere as strike begins. Right after this. Welcome back.
Dele Alli's been through a lot. At just 27, he's played for England, Spurs, Everton and most recently Turkish side Besiktas. He sat down with Gary Neville's The Overlap and revealed that we didn't know half of what he's been through. He's just come out of rehab after struggling while at the Turkish club and needing help for a sleeping pill addiction and mental health issues. He also opened up about the trauma he'd been through as a child for the very first time.
At 6, I was molested by my mum's friend. And then I was sent to Africa to learn discipline, and then I was sent back. 7, I started smoking. 8, I started dealing drugs. 11, I was hung off a bridge. And then, 12, I was adopted, so.
The Hollywood writers' strike's been going on for over 70 days now with no sign of progress, but on Thursday night things kicked up a notch. Now 160,000 actors are also going on strike as the SAG-AFTRA union has failed to come to an agreement with studio bosses. It's going to have a dramatic effect on the TV and movie industry, with striking actors not allowed to do interviews, premieres, junkets, podcasts or even personal appearances. And to reinforce how seriously they're taking it, Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon and the cast of Oppenheimer walked out of their own London premiere on Thursday evening. Matt says it's important, but it'll be painful.
But nobody wants a work stoppage. It's painful for every other guild. It's really painful for IATSE and all of our brothers and sisters there. Nobody wants that, but we gotta be working under contracts that are fair.
We're in the final few hours of Henry Cavill being the Witcher on Netflix. Liam Hemsworth's warming up on the sidelines, ready to jump in for Series 4, but can he really out-Cavill Cavill? The stubble, the blonde hair, the gravelly voice... Sorry, excuse me. I was going to say the final chapter of Witcher Season 3, that's episodes 6, 7 and 8, drop on July the 27th.
The war brewing outside is nothing compared to what Geralt will unleash to protect his daughter.
There has to be another way. Remember your strength. We need you.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.